Chapter 1. The Call of Mystery. It was a warm evening in Miami, with the sun dipping below the horizon, casting orange and purple hues across the sky. Emma Reynolds, a marine archaeologist, stood on the balcony of her beachfront apartment, staring out at the vast expanse of water. She had always been captivated by the sea, but there was one area that intrigued her more than any other: the Bermuda Triangle. Nestled between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, the Bermuda Triangle had gained notoriety over the years for its eerie reputation. Numerous planes and ships had disappeared without a trace, leaving only whispers of ghost stories and supernatural explanations. Emma had grown up hearing tales from her grandfather about lost ships and strange phenomena, and now, armed with a PhD and a fervent desire for discovery, she was determined to uncover the truth behind the legend. That evening, as she scrolled through her emails, she stumbled upon an announcement. A research grant was being offered for an expedition to investigate the anomalies in the Bermuda Triangle. Her heart raced. This was her chance. With a few quick keystrokes, she applied for the grant, outlining her plan to conduct a series of underwater explorations using advanced sonar technology. Chapter 2. Assembling the team. Weeks later, after what felt like an eternity of anxious waiting, Emma received the approval email. She was elated, but now came the daunting task of assembling a team. Emma wanted the best and the brightest, people who could help her unravel the mysteries of the triangle. She reached out to her friend David Chan, a brilliant oceanographer known for his work on ocean currents and underwater ecosystems. David had a reputation for being adventurous and analytical, two qualities Emma desperately needed on her team. "Count me in," David replied enthusiastically. "I've always wanted to explore the Bermuda Triangle. It's like the ultimate scientific adventure." Next, she contacted Lisa Morgan, a skilled underwater photographer and marine conservationist. "I'll document everything," Lisa assured Emma. "Every detail of this expedition needs to be captured." Finally, Emma sought the expertise of Captain Sam Collins, a seasoned yacht captain who had navigated the waters of the Caribbean for over 2 decades. "I know these waters like the back of my hand," Sam told her over the phone. "I've seen some strange things, but I've also made it back every time." With the team assembled and the expedition details ironed out, Emma felt a wave of excitement wash over her. They would set sail on the research vessel Endeavour, equipped with state-of-the-art technology to explore the depths of the triangle. Chapter 3. Setting sail. On a bright morning, the Endeavour glided out of Miami Harbor. The crew was in high spirits, buzzing with excitement as they set out on their journey. Emma stood at the bow, soaking in the salty air, filled with a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. As they entered the triangle, the weather shifts dramatically. The serene blue waters began to churn, and ominous clouds gathered overhead. "Looks like we're in for a storm," Sam remarked, glancing at the darkening sky. The crew sprang into action, preparing the ship for inclement weather. "Stay calm, everyone," Emma reassured them, though she felt the tension rising in her own chest. "We've trained for this. Just follow the protocols." As thunder rumbled in the distance, dark clouds rolled over them, and the wind picked up. An unexpected and sudden tempest. The ship rocked violently as they sailed into the heart of the approaching storm. Chapter 4. The Eye of the Storm. The storm raged, waves crashing over the deck, and the crew struggled to maintain their footing. Water surged onto the ship, soaking them to the bone. Sam barked orders, his voice barely audible above the howling winds. Suddenly, a bright flash illuminated the sky. Emma shielded her eyes, heart pounding as she saw something remarkable. An otherworldly glow emerging from the depths of the ocean, directly beneath them. "Did you see that?" David shouted, gripping the railing. "What was that?" Lisa gasped, her camera forgotten in her hands. Before Emma could respond, another flash of light shot up from the water, and a distant rumble echoed in the air. The crew exchanged worried glances. Was it lightning or something more? "I need to get a look at what's happening down there," Emma declared, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We should deploy the underwater drone." With great urgency, they prepared the drone and sent it into the churning waters below. The monitor displayed a live feed as the drone plunged into the depths. The crew watched in awe as the glow grew brighter, revealing an enormous structure resting on the ocean floor. Chapter 5. The Discovery. The drone camera captured stunning images of what appeared to be a sunken ship encrusted with coral and marine life. Ancient artifacts were strewn nearby, pieces of pottery, tools, and what looked like a helmet from another time. "Unbelievable," David exclaimed, eyes wide with excitement. "This could be a significant archaeological find." Emma's heart raced. "We need to document everything. This could be one of the lost vessels associated with the Triangle's mysteries." Just as they began analyzing the footage, a piercing scream erupted from the deck. "No, the drone," Lisa shouted, pointing frantically at the monitor, where the drone image flickered and cut out completely. "What the?" Emma exclaimed, her heart sinking as they lost contact. "Get me the drone back." The crew scrambled to retrieve the drone, but the storm was still raging around them, the ship rocking uncontrollably. Emma felt a sinking feeling in her gut, sensing that they were in for more than they had bargained for. Chapter 6. The calm before the storm, hours passed as they battled the storm, and just when they thought they might be engulfed, it subsided, leaving them in eerie stillness. The clouds parted to reveal a starry sky, but a sense of unease lingered. "Did that just happen?" David whispered, still shaken by the event. "The light, the drone, what do you think we encountered down there?" "I don't know," Emma admitted, but it felt deliberate, like something didn't want us to explore. As night fell, they gathered on deck, discussing their next move. Emma suggested they return to the earlier location and investigate the area further, but doubts flooded the crew's minds. "I don't think that's a good idea," Sam cautioned. "Whatever is down there, it doesn't want us digging into its secrets." But Emma was resolute. "This is why we're here. We can't let fear dictate our quest for knowledge." Chapter 7. Descent into Mystery. The following day, they navigated the Endeavour back to the vicinity of the first discovery. Emma felt a mix of exhilaration and apprehension, but determination drove her forward. "Deploy the sonar and prepare the ROV," she instructed the team. "We need details." As they scanned the area, the sonar revealed shapes resembling structures on the ocean floor, including the outline of what appeared to be ancient ruins. Emma's excitement mounted as she considered the implications. This could be part of a lost civilization, she mused. Maybe it's connected to the disappearances. Perhaps these were people trying to escape the storms. With the ROV ready, they plunged it into the depths once again, hoping to uncover more of the underwater secrets. As the device descended, the waters turned particularly turbulent, almost as if they were being watched. "Keep a close eye on the readings," David warned, tension palpable in his voice. "I have a feeling something doesn't want us down here." But Emma pressed on, eager to reach the depths of the strange structures. Suddenly, the ROV halted, its camera capturing an intricate design on one of the ruins. A carved symbol unlike anything they had ever seen. Chapter 8. The Guardian's Warning. As the crew interpreted the symbol on the ROV monitor, a sudden glitch disrupted the feed. The screen, filled with static and shadows, flickered momentarily, then vanished. In that instant, a horrifying realization struck Emma. "Get the ROV back. Something is not right," she shouted, panic lacing her voice. The crew scrambled to retrieve the ROV, but the intense current yanked at the tether as if the ocean itself resisted their attempts. A white mist enveloped the waters around them, and distant whispers echoed in the air, words they could not comprehend but felt chillingly ominous. "We need to leave," Sam exclaimed, eyes wide with fear. "This isn't right. We've disturbed something." Just then, a massive surge of water erupted below, sending enormous waves crashing against the Endeavour. The ship tilted dangerously, and the crew clung to whatever they could find. Chapter 9. The Reckoning. As they struggled to regain control, the whispers grew louder, drowning out their shouts. "Leave this place," echoed in the air, resonating deep within Emma's soul. "Get us out of here, Sam," Emma yelled desperately. "Now!" An adrenaline rush fueled their efforts, and Sam fought to stabilize the vessel amidst the chaos. They floundered, but as the storm's rage intensified, Emma's resolve hardened. "It's time to confront whatever is guarding this space," she declared, strangely compelled by the whispers. "We need to respect its message and find a way to make peace." With newfound determination, Emma and her team focused on the sonar readings, aligning their final approach. As they made one last attempt to communicate with the oceanic force, the intensity of the storm began to fade, and the whispers transformed into an understanding. Chapter 10. The Resolution. When the chaos subsided, they found themselves anchored safely in calm waters, alive but shaken. The sky above was clear, revealing twinkling stars, a stark contrast to the turmoil they had just endured. "It's over," Lisa whispered, her voice filled with awe. "What just happened?" "I think we've crossed an unseen boundary," Emma murmured, reflecting on the experience. "The Bermuda Triangle holds stories and effects we may never fully grasp, but we respect that power." As they shared their thoughts, one thing became clear to them all. They had ventured into a realm beyond scientific understanding, but had emerged with a deeper respect for the mysteries of the ocean. Epilogue. The Legacy of the Triangle. Back in Miami, Emma presented their findings to scientific communities and marine conservation groups. The experiences they had endured served as a reminder of the balance between exploration and reverence for the unknown. The lost ship they discovered became a symbol of the importance of historical preservation. The Bermuda Triangle remained an enigma, but rather than fearing it, Emma encouraged others to approach it with a sense of curiosity and respect. With the stories of those who had come before them echoing in her mind, she knew that their adventure was just one of many in the great tapestry of maritime history. Years later, as she stood at the beach, gazing at the ocean's horizon, Emma felt grateful. The mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle would persist, beckoning new adventurers with tales of daring and discovery. With every wave, she sensed the call of the sea, reminding her that some mysteries were meant to be embraced rather than solved, a legacy for generations yet to come. Chapter 1. The Call to Adventure. In the heart of Miami, Florida, The air was thick with humidity and anticipation. Emma Carter, a spirited marine biologist with a passion for the mysteries of the ocean, paced nervously in her modest office at the university. A recent conversation with her mentor, Dr. Richard Ellis, had reignited her obsession with the Bermuda Triangle, an area infamous for the mysterious disappearances of ships and planes. "Emma, it's just a section of the ocean," Richard had said, adjusting his glasses. "But there's something about it that captivates people. Perhaps it's time someone took a serious look at what's really happening there." Those words lingered in Emma's mind. With a wild spark, she decided to organize an expedition into the depths of the triangle. She was determined to uncover the truth behind the legends that surrounded this iconic area. Chapter 2. Assembling the team. Emma reached out to her closest friends and colleagues. First on her list was Jack Rivers, a skilled navigator with an expertise in underwater mapping. Jack had a sense of adventure that matched Emma's own. "Count me in," he said with a grin when she explained her plan. "I've always wanted to explore the depths of the triangle." Next was Mia Chen, an experienced underwater photographer known for her breathtaking shots of marine life. "I'll bring my equipment and capture every moment," she promised, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Finally, they enlisted Dr. Albert Moore, a theoretical oceanographer whose research on ocean currents had put him in the spotlight. He had his reservations about the myths, but he was intrigued by the scientific challenges of exploring such a complex region. With their team assembled, plans were made. They would set sail on the research vessel Orion, equipped with the latest sonar technology and ROVs, remotely operated vehicles. Emma felt the thrill of adventure coursing through her veins as they prepared for the expedition. Chapter 3. Setting sail. As the sun rose over Miami, the Orion pulled away from the dock, leaving the bustling city behind. Emma stood at the bow, inhaling the salty breeze. "This is it," she whispered to herself, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. The journey took them through shimmering turquoise waters, but as they entered the Bermuda Triangle, the atmosphere shifted. The sun disappeared behind dark clouds, and the wind picked up, sending waves crashing against the hull. "Looks like we're in for a storm," Jack said, his smile fading as he adjusted the sails. Emma gazed at the ominous sky, her senses tingling. Just a little rain never hurt anyone. But as night fell, the storm intensified. Thunder roared and lightning lit up the sky. The waves became a chaotic dance, tossing the Orion like a toy in a bathtub. Amid the tempest, Emma couldn't help but feel a thrill. This was the wild, untamed ocean she had always dreamed of exploring. Chapter 4. Into the unknown. The storm raged for hours. Waves crashed, and the vessel rocked violently. Emma and the team scrambled to secure equipment and maintain stability. Just when it seemed like the storm would swallow them whole, the wind died down almost as suddenly as it had begun. Silence enveloped them, and the crew emerged from their hiding spots, shaken but alive. The sky cleared, revealing a blanket of stars unlike anything Emma had ever seen. "We made it through," she exhaled, relief washing over her. But as they settled back to their routine, something unusual happened. The ROV's sonar began picking up strange anomalies beneath the surface. Shapes and shadows danced on the screen, sparking their curiosity. "That doesn't look like natural rock formations," Albert said, leaning closer to the monitor. "We should investigate." Chapter 5. The Discovery. With renewed excitement, they launched the ROV, descending into the deep blue. The vehicle provided a window into a surreal world filled with intricate coral formations and schools of vibrant fish. Then, something caught Emma's eye. A shadowy outline loomed in the depths. "Bring it closer," she directed, her heart racing. The ROV's camera focused on the object. It appeared to be the remains of a shipwreck, partially buried in sand and overgrown with coral. "Is that?" Jack trailed off, his eyes wide. "It looks like a World War II era vessel." The team felt a surge of energy as they gathered data about the wreckage. They were staring at a piece of history, perhaps a long-lost ship that had vanished from the face of the earth. Chapter 6. Unearthing the past. For the next few days, the team conducted careful examinations of the wreck. They discovered artifacts, pieces of equipment, personal belongings, and remnants of uniforms. Each item told a story, revealing fragments of lives lost in the triangle. Emma meticulously documented everything, while Mia captured stunning photographs. But as they delved deeper, they began to feel a strange sensation, a tingling unease that stirred in the pit of their stomachs. Something about the wreck felt alive, as if it were guarding its secrets. "I can't shake this feeling that we're being watched," Mia admitted as she reviewed her photos. "It's like the ocean has eyes." As the days turned into nights, they began experiencing strange phenomena. Electronic equipment would malfunction, and the temperature would fluctuate inexplicably. One night, while Emma was working on data analysis, she noticed odd lights flickering just beyond the ship's reach. "Jack, come look at this," she called urgently. He joined her on deck, staring into the darkness. "Is that?" he whispered, pointing toward the lights shimmering on the horizon. Chapter 7. The Glimpse of the Unexplained. As curiosity turned to apprehension, Emma and Jack watched the lights flicker and dance in the distance. Without thinking, Emma grabbed a camera and pointed it toward the glow. "What do you think it is?" she asked, her voice tinged with awe. "I have no idea, but I've heard stories," Jack replied, taking a step back. "Some say it's the souls of those lost in the triangle, trying to find their way home." Emma shivered at the thought. Just then, the lights blinked out, leaving only the darkness. As they turned to head back inside, the air grew heavy with an unexplainable tension. Suddenly, the ROV's monitor emitted a startled beep, displaying a new set of sonar readings. "We need to check this out," Albert announced, urgency in his voice. They quickly prepared the ROV again, sending it into the depths. Chapter 8. The Encounter. As the ROV descended, the team gathered around the monitor, eyes glued to the screen. "What is that?" Mia gasped as a massive shadow came into view. The ROV's camera revealed an immense underwater structure that was both beautiful and terrifying, overgrown with marine life. Could this be an ancient ruin? Emma speculated. The shapes appeared to form a colossal underwater city, complete with towering walls and pathways. Or perhaps structures made by civilization long lost to time, Albert added, intrigued by the implications. "We need to document this." But as they explored further, something stirred in the shadows. The ROV's lights caught glimpses of silhouettes moving in the periphery. "You're not alone down there," Jack whispered, sensing the atmosphere shift. The feeling of being watched returned, intensifying to an overwhelming pressure. The ROV's screen flickered momentarily before losing signal entirely. Frantically, they tried to re-establish communication, but their connection was severed. "Get it back. We need that data," Emma urged, anxiety surging. Chapter 9. The Reckoning. Suddenly, a powerful force jerked the Orion, and a chilling howling echoed through the night. Hatches banged, and equipment rattled. "What's happening?" Mia screamed. The team stumbled, trying to regain their footing amidst the chaos. "Hold on," Jack shouted, grasping a railing as the waves began to rise. A colossal wave surged forth from the unseen depths, breaking against the hull and sending the ship into a wild tilt. Emma felt a surge of panic as she and her team clung tightly to whatever they could find. They were caught in the triangle's unpredictable grasp. "Get to the control room," Albert shouted, fighting against the banging doors. In the control room, they struggled to stabilize the ship. Juggling instruments and communication systems, Emma worked feverishly to keep them afloat. Just then, the lights flickered and went out, plunging them into darkness, punctuated by the eerie sounds of the ocean. No, this can't be happening," Emma murmured. Chapter 10. The Aftermath. As quickly as it began, the chaos subsided. The storm receded, leaving a serene calm. The Orion righted itself, but the team was shaken to their core. "Is everyone okay?" Emma asked, inspecting her colleagues. "Tired but alive," Jack replied, his voice trembling. "What was that?" Emma hesitated, still feeling the weight of their encounter. "I don't know, but we were not alone down there." As the sun rose, the team emerged on deck to assess the damage. They had survived the storm, but lost their ROV and crucial data. Despite the defeat, Emma felt a renewed passion to explore. "We have a chance to analyze what we've discovered and what happened. We cannot give up now." Chapter 11. Epilogue. Back on land, Emma, Jack, Mia, and Albert presented their findings to colleagues and researchers at a marine conference. They spoke passionately about their experiences in the Triangle, emphasizing the sudden storms and phenomena without wholly dismissing the legends associated with the area. Though they hadn't found every answer, they opened up discussions about ocean explorations, history, and the shared human connection to the sea. The Bermuda Triangle remains a cryptic enigma, a realm where reality intertwines with the mysterious, Emma concluded during her presentation. As their work gained recognition, Emma felt a shift occur, a renewed commitment not just to understanding the Triangle, but also to inspiring future generations of marine scientists. Adventure called her back to the sea, and she knew this was just the beginning. Chapter 12. A New Beginning. Months later, as Emma walked the beach alone, she could hear the whispers of the ocean calling to her again. The sun dipped low, casting golden rays on the water. She closed her eyes, letting the sounds wash over her. The mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle would continue to dwell in the deep, but with each wave, she felt a sense of purpose renew itself. Like countless before her, Emma was drawn to the allure of adventure, to uncovering truths hidden beneath the surface and beyond the realm of the known. And perhaps, one day, she would return to the Bermuda Triangle, not just as a scientist, but as a seeker of the stories yet to be told. Chapter 1. An Unseen Pull. Ethan Pierce had always been drawn to the sea. An avid sailor and marine biologist, he saw the ocean as both a career and a passion. His office at the University of Miami was filled with maps, specimens, and stories of the deep. But one mystery fascinated him more than any coral reef or creature: the Bermuda Triangle. For years, countless planes and ships had vanished without a trace in that enigmatic region, leading to wild theories ranging from the plausible to the absurd. What interested Ethan the most wasn't the fear or superstition surrounding the triangle, but the potential for scientific discovery. Perhaps there was a natural yet undiscovered explanation for this legendary phenomenon. One day, while poring over old maritime logs, a name caught his eye: the USS Cyclops. The Navy cargo ship disappeared in 1918, after leaving Barbados, with over 300 men aboard. Investigating its fate might be the key to understanding the triangle's secrets. Ethan's heart raced as he decided to embark on an expedition. Chapter 2. Assembling the crew. Ethan reached out to a group of experts, friends and colleagues he knew would add value to the mission. Dr. Sarah Lawson, a geologist known for her work in underwater geology, was the first to join. "You really think the Cyclops might hold the key to the triangle?" she asked, excitement gleaming in her eyes. "I do. There's more to this area than meets the eye," Ethan replied, determination set in his voice. Next, he contacted Ben, a seasoned captain with extensive experience navigating the waters surrounding the triangle. "I've heard all the legends, but if you're looking for the truth, I'll help," Ben said. Finally, he invited Mia, an adventurous photographer and filmmaker, to document their voyage. "This is going to be epic," she grinned. Together, they created an eclectic team, each bringing their unique skill set to the table. Chapter 3. Setting sail. With preparations complete, the team boarded the Voyager, a sturdy research vessel equipped with the latest sonar technology. The sea shimmered under the midday sun as they departed from Miami. Spirits ran high, blended with anticipation and tension. On board, they established a routine. Sarah studied geological maps and tidal patterns, while Mia captured the journey through her lens. Ethan gazed at the horizon, lost in thought about the Cyclops. What secrets could it reveal, if they could find it? As nighttime approached, the atmosphere shifted. The ocean transformed into a black mirror, reflecting the sprawling stars above. It was peaceful, yet haunting. Suddenly, Ethan spotted something flickering in the distance. "Is that a storm?" he asked, pointing toward a strange glow on the horizon. Ben frowned. "Looks odd. Let's steer clear." Chapter 4. The First Encounter. As they changed course, the eerie lights vanished, but the unease lingered. They continued their journey through the heart of the triangle. The currents were unpredictable, and the ship rocked gently. Suddenly, the sonar beeped, signaling an object below. "Could this be it?" Sarah asked, her heart racing. "Could be," Ethan said, leaning into the screen. The blurry outline of debris appeared, possibly the remains of the Cyclops or something else entirely. The crew prepared the submersible drone to explore the mysterious object below. Mia, excited to capture the moment, stood behind the camera. Chapter 5. Into the Depths. The drone descended into the depths, its lights cutting through the inky darkness. The crew watched the monitor in anticipation, hearts pounding in unison. Shapes began to materialize on the screen, revealing a wreck, its bow tilted, fragmented by time and nature. "It's a ship!" Sarah exclaimed, racing to gather information. "But is it the Cyclops?" Before they could confirm, the drone's camera picked up something peculiar, a series of strange markings along the ship's hull. "What are those symbols?" Mia questioned, intrigued. Ethan felt a thrill of discovery. "They're unlike anything I've seen before. We need to bring back samples for analysis." Suddenly, the screen went dark. A distortion filled the monitor, creating a jagged image as the drone emitted erratic signals. "What's happening?" Ben yelled. "It's losing power. Pull it back," Sarah ordered, panic rising. Chapter 6. The Storm Unleashed. As they scrambled to recover the drone, the weather changed in an instant. Dark clouds gathered above, eclipsing the stars. A tempest erupted, tossing the Voyager violently. Waves crashed against the hull, and fear swept through the crew. "Hold on," Ben shouted, struggling to keep the ship steady. Ethan and Sarah secured equipment while Mia captured the chaos through her camera lens, documenting the storm that felt surreal. Outside, the wind howled like a living thing, the sea roiling in fury. The ship shuddered, and Ethan felt a chilling realization. This storm wasn't ordinary. "Above us!" Mia screamed, pointing to the swirling vortex forming in the sky. It radiated an otherworldly glow, and at its center, strange lights pulsed rhythmically, echoing the patterns they had seen on the drone. "It's like the lights we saw before. This can't be coincidence," Ethan shouted, eyes widening with understanding. Chapter 7. The Eye of the Abyss. The ocean churned beneath them, creating a massive whirlpool that seemed to pull the ship closer. A strange energy vibrated through the air, and fear gripped the crew. "Get us out of here," Ben yelled, struggling to steer the vessel away from the storm's eye. As they fought against nature's fury, the lights above began to dance, illuminating the waves like a beacon. Suddenly, the ship lurched violently, throwing Ethan across the deck. He hit the railing, pain shooting through his body. "Ethan!" Sarah cried, rushing to his side. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," he gasped, but fear lingered in his eyes as he watched the strange phenomenon unfold. As if sensing their plight, the storm began to dissipate, revealing the mysterious whirlpool that had formed nearby. It beckoned them closer, whispering secrets from the depths below. Chapter 8. Into the Vortex. Despite the crew's fear, Ethan felt an irresistible pull toward the vortex. "We have to investigate," he urged. "This may be our only chance to discover the truth about the Cyclops." Ben hesitated. "It's too dangerous." "We can't turn back now," Ethan insisted, determination solidifying his resolve. After a moment of conflict, Ben reluctantly nodded. As they approached the swirling water, the vessel shuddered under the gravitational pull of the vortex. The ocean roared like a wild beast, and their hearts raced with thrill and terror. With one final push, they plunged into the depths, spiraling down into the abyss. For a heartbeat, everything went dark. Chapter 9. The Hidden Realm. When Ethan's eyes adjusted, he couldn't believe what he saw. They emerged into a realm unlike any he had ever known. The bottom of the ocean opened up, revealing a dazzling underwater landscape. Bioluminescent creatures swam gracefully around them, illuminating the way forward. In the distance, remnants of ancient structures peeked through the sands, glimmering with the same strange markings they had seen on the wreck. It was a city submerged, lost to time. "What is this place?" Mia gasped, capturing the beauty through her lens. "It's incredible," Sarah said, mesmerized by the vibrant colors and life surrounding them. "It's as if we've stumbled upon the remnants of a long-lost civilization." As they navigated the ruins, Ethan felt an overwhelming sense of connection. The stories he had heard about the Triangle clicked into place. The Cyclops, countless ships, all intertwined with this underwater world. They were drawn to it by something fundamental, an intersection of history and timelessness. Chapter 10. The truth unveiled in the heart of the underwater city. Ethan spotted a massive stone tablet adorned with the same ancient symbols they had been pondering. With reverence, he approached and traced the carvings with his fingers, feeling the weight of history pressing against him. "Ethan, look," Sarah pointed to the tablet. "These symbols depict the ships and planes lost in the Triangle." It was a transportation hub. Not just a hub, Ethan breathed in awe. A gateway. The civilization here must have navigated this energy, using it to interact with the surface world. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled, and swirling silver lights began to rise around the tablet. The guardians of this realm, the ethereal beings they had glimpsed earlier, reappeared, encircling Ethan and his friends. "We must explain," Ethan urged, feeling a connection to the guardians. "We're here to honor the lost and reveal the truth." The beings radiated understanding, their presence calming the turmoil swirling around them. In that moment, Ethan knew he had to share their newfound knowledge with the world. Chapter 11. The Return Journey. With the knowledge gained, the crew began their ascent. The beings guided them, illuminating a path back to the Voyager. As they left the underwater city behind, Ethan and his team felt a renewed purpose burning within them. Back on the surface, the storm had cleared, leaving shimmering stars and a calm ocean. "We did it!" Mia shouted with joy. "We have to tell everyone what we found." As they navigated back toward Miami, Ethan reflected on their adventure. The Bermuda Triangle was more than an area of mystery. It was a historical connective thread, a bridge linking the past with the present. Chapter 12. The Legacy of the Triangle. When they finally returned to shore, they shared their findings with the world, promoting understanding rather than fear. Documentaries were made, and awareness grew of the ocean's potential as both a keeper of history and a living entity deserving of respect. Soon, expeditions began to pour into the area, not just looking for lost ships, but seeking to preserve the legacy of those who had disappeared. The stories pulled together weighed heavily, but also illuminated how interconnected humanity is with the ocean. Chapter 13. A World Changed. Years later, Ethan stood before the class of eager students at the university, reflecting on the journey that had begun as a personal quest. The Bermuda Triangle isn't just a swirling enigma. It's a world that holds stories of loss, resilience, and connection. Understanding it requires respect for both history and nature, he explained, his heart full. As the students listened, a single thought lingered in Ethan's mind. The ocean will always be a mystery, but in uncovering its secrets, they discovered a greater truth about themselves and the world around them. Chapter 14. The Call of the Ocean. One evening, years after their expedition, Ethan found himself back at the dock where it all began. He gazed out at the ocean, waves lapping at the shore, and felt the familiar pull once more. "Ready for another adventure?" Sarah's voice broke through his thoughts, a nostalgic smile on her face. "Always," Ethan replied, knowing that the ocean held more stories to tell. Their bond with the sea was unbroken, a lifelong journey into the infinite mysteries of existence. As the sun set, casting golden rays across the water, Ethan felt an unshakable truth. The Bermuda Triangle was not just a place of loss. It was a treasure trove of humanity's narratives waiting to be uncovered. Chapter 1. The Call of the Deep. On a warm afternoon in July, Jack Collins, a seasoned marine archaeologist, stood on the balcony of his Miami Beach apartment, gazing out at the distressed waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The shimmering waves lapped at the shore, concealing secrets that had fascinated humanity for centuries. The Bermuda Triangle. Tales of vanished ships and planes filled the annals of history, igniting a fire within Jack to explore its depths. It was not merely a professional endeavor, it was personal. His grandfather had been a sailor lost in the Triangle during World War II, and although Jack had heard the stories, he longed to uncover the truth that lay beneath the surface. As he pondered the mysteries of the sea, his phone buzzed. It was an unexpected message from his old college friend, Dr. Lena Ramirez, an oceanographer who had dedicated her career to studying unusual underwater phenomena. "Jack, I found something incredible. Let's meet." Chapter 2. The Meeting. They arranged to meet at an old diner near the docks. Lena was already there when Jack arrived, her eyes alight with excitement. She slid a weathered notebook across the table. "Jack, this is the diary of Captain Edward Morrison, a pilot who went missing in the Triangle in 1945. He wrote about strange occurrences and a powerful force at work in the area," she explained. Jack flipped through the pages, reading the captain's entries. His heart raced as a particular entry caught his eye. The waters churned violently, and lights danced above the clouds. "I fear we are not alone in this vast abyss." "This could be our chance, Jack," Lena urged. "If we could find where he went down, we might learn what really happened, not just to him, but to all those who vanished." "I'm in," Jack replied, a mix of excitement and trepidation flooding him. They would need a boat, crew, and the right equipment to explore the depths, stuffing their backpacks with maps, diving gear, and an old sonar device that Jack hoped would guide them. Chapter 3. Set sail. A few days later, they boarded the Seeker, a sturdy research vessel equipped with sonar and diving equipment. Jack felt a rush of adrenaline as they departed the harbour, the din of the city fading behind them. The air was thick with anticipation as they headed towards the coordinates derived from Captain Morrison's final notes. As they approached the area, the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. The ocean looked deceptively calm, yet Jack couldn't shake the feeling of unease crawling up his spine. It was as if the water itself was holding its breath. Lena stood at the helm, staring at the sonar readings. "There's something down there," she said, pointing to the screen. "An anomaly. This could be the wreck." Jack felt a thrill of fear and excitement. They prepared the submersible drone for deployment, hoping it would uncover the truth hidden beneath the waves. Chapter 4. Into the Abyss. As the drone descended, the screen filled with shadows. It moved deeper into the abyss, capturing footage of the ocean floor. Jack and Lena's hearts beat in sync with the pulsing lights of the drone. Suddenly, the camera caught sight of something, a massive silhouette cloaked in seaweed and debris. "There it is," Jack exclaimed, his voice trembling. The shape materialized further, revealing the remnants of a small aircraft, its fuselage twisted and torn. The lights of the drone flickered ominously as it passed over the wreck. Flashes of past encounters filled Jack's mind, stories of sailors who had vanished, whispers of unexplained phenomena. He felt compelled to dive deeper, to connect with those lost. "Bring it back!" Lena shouted suddenly, her eyes wide. "The readings are fluctuating. We need to be careful." But it was too late. A surge of energy pulsed through the water, bouncing off the drone and sending it spiraling upwards. The crew on the Seeker froze, their eyes glued to the screen as the image distorted, revealing a flash of unearthly lights. Chapter 5. The Storm Brews. Before they could react, dark clouds gathered above them, ominously swirling in the evening sky. The Seeker rocked violently against the waves as the wind howled like a banshee. Equipment rattled, and Lena struggled to maintain control. "Hold on tight," Jack shouted, gripping the railing. The ship was tossed like a toy in a bathtub, and fear gripped everyone on board. Suddenly, a blinding flash of lightning illuminated the sky, revealing an eerie formation of storm clouds, a swirling vortex descending directly above them. The waters below began to churn violently. "It's like a maelstrom," Lena gasped, eyes wide with terror. "We have to get out of here." But the storm was relentless, and Jack felt a sinking sensation in his gut. It was as if the Triangle was alive, rejecting their intrusion and demanding they leave. Chapter 6. A Desperate Attempt. As the vortex loomed closer, Jack felt the ship lurch, throwing him to the deck. Water surged over the bow, soaking him. "We need to navigate away from it," he yelled, but the compass spun wildly, disorienting them. "This way," Lena cried, steering the boat as best she could while glancing at the sonar. The crew fought against the elements, desperately trying to maintain control. Through the chaos, Jack had an idea. "We need to deploy the drone again. It might help us find a safe path." Reluctantly, Lena agreed. They managed to stabilize the ship enough to lower the drone once more, praying it would guide them through the storm. Chapter 7. The Message from Beyond. As the drone submerged again, a serene calmness enveloped Jack. The chaotic storm above felt miles away as he lost himself in the mission. The drone captured deeper footage this time, and as it descended, the strange lights glowed brighter, forming a path leading away from the vortex above. Jack watched in awe. "It's a tunnel, a way out," he shouted. and the crew rallied around the monitor, invigorated by hope. Suddenly, the drone encountered a brilliant light beneath the waters, illuminating the surroundings like a digital sunrise. Shapes emerged, structures that resembled ancient ruins, adorned with unfamiliar symbols and inscriptions. "What is this place?" Lena whispered, captivated. "I think it's a remnant of a lost civilization," Jack breathed, understanding washing over him. "It's not just the triangle, it's a gateway to something much larger, an intersection of time and space." Chapter 8. The Underwater Ruins. As the drone explored the ruins, fragmented images filled Jack's mind. The captain's diary, tales from mariners, and legends passed down through generations. He felt connected, as if the very ocean was revealing its hidden truths. "We have to dive down," he decided, a mix of fear and exhilaration coursing through him. "We can't let this slip away." Jack and Lena gathered their diving gear and prepared to plunge into the depths. As they slipped below the surface, the water was eerily warm and inviting. Equipped with lights, they swam toward the glowing structures, their curiosity propelling them forward. The ruins loomed ahead, intricate carvings and artifacts scattered around them. Lena brushed her fingers against the stone, feeling the age-old energy coursing through it. "This is incredible," she said breathlessly. "It could change everything." But as excitement bubbled within them, a cold shiver ran down Jack's spine. They were intruders in a sacred place, and they had to tread carefully. Chapter 9. The Guardians of the Triangle. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The waters grew colder, and Jack spotted shadowy figures gliding between the structures, almost ethereal. They were humanoid, translucent beings that emanated a powerful aura. "Do you see that?" Lena whispered, her eyes wide with disbelief. "What are they?" Jack was rooted in place, awestruck. He couldn't shake the feeling that these beings were somehow linked to the triangle's mysteries. As if sensing their presence, the figures approached, encircling the divers in a protective formation. In the depth of the ocean, among lost wrecks and forgotten stories, Jack and Lena felt an understanding pass between them and the beings. It was as if the guardians of the triangle were revealing a history long concealed from humanity. The shadows danced through the waters, leading them to a large structure at the center of the ruins, the presumed heart of the civilization they had encountered. On its walls were more inscriptions, this time depicting boats, planes, and figures vanishing into the swirling waters. Chapter 10. The Revelation. Jack's breathing quickened as he comprehended the profound truth. They're not just protecting their history, they're warning us, he realized. The triangle is a barrier, a guardian between worlds. Just then, the shadows formed a swirling vortex, inviting them further. Jack took Lena's hand, and together they plunged deeper into the unknown. Visions flashed before them, revealing past civilizations adapting, thriving, and eventually succumbing to the sea. The triangle had become a sanctuary for their past, weaving a narrative that stretched far beyond the present. As they reached the heart of the structure, the walls shimmered with ancient materials interlaced with stories of sailors lost to time. The USS Lindbergh, the planes of Flight 19, lives intertwined with the currents of destiny. Chapter 1. The Disappearance. In the summer of 1937, the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship, disappeared without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle, a region in the North Atlantic Ocean infamous for the mysterious vanishings of vessels and aircraft. The ship, carrying over 300 men and a cargo of manganese ore, set sail from Barbados, but it never arrived in Baltimore. Captain Charles Mason, a seasoned mariner, piloted the ship through the waters known for their unpredictable storms and treacherous currents. On board was Lieutenant Anna James, a young naval officer keen to prove herself in a male-dominated environment. As the ship journeyed through the vast ocean, the crew felt the subtle tension in the skies above. Unease rippled through the ranks, yet they pressed on. Just a day into the journey, radio communication became intermittent. The crew exchanged worried glances. The captain remained stoic, promising that they would reach their destination without delay. A storm was brewing, and ominous clouds gathered on the horizon, casting an eerie shadow over the ocean. Chapter 2. Into the Storm. As night descended, the seas became restless. Waves crashed against the hull, rattling the crew. Anna stood on deck, gazing up at the foreboding clouds swirling like a living entity. "We need to adjust our course, Captain," she shouted above the roar of the wind. Captain Mason frowned, but refused to turn the ship away. "Steady as she goes. We're almost through it," he replied, his determination unwavering. The ship rocked violently, and a surge of anxiety gripped the crew as lightning flashed across the sky. Suddenly, a deafening boom echoed, and the Cyclops was thrown into chaos. The ship veered off course, and several crew members struggled to maintain their footing. Anna grabbed onto a railing, her heart racing. "Get below deck," the captain ordered. "We're riding this out." Despite the turmoil, Anna hesitated. Something felt wrong in the depths of her soul. It was as if the ocean itself was alive and angry. The storm raged on, the ship seeming to defy nature as it fought the furious waves. Chapter 3. A vanished ship. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, a search began when the USS Cyclops failed to arrive as scheduled. Reports flooded into the Navy, and rescue missions were launched across the Bermuda Triangle. Planes scoured the skies and ships combed the waters, but there was no sign of the Cyclops or its crew. Admiral Warren Thompson stood on the deck of the USS Muir, a flagship sent to lead the rescue effort. "What are we dealing with here?" he muttered, gazing at the endless ocean. "This triangle has claimed more than its share of our finest vessels." His first officer, Lieutenant Mark Reed, was poring over maps and coordinates. "Sir, over 1,000 ships and planes have vanished in this area, but we won't stop until we find them." Back on the Cyclops, the situation deteriorated. The ship struggled to remain afloat as waves crashed with a ferocity that seemed unnatural. Anna and her fellow crew members huddled together, fear in their eyes. "This can't be the end," she whispered, seeking solace in her comrades. Chapter 4. Strange Occurrences. As the storm reached its peak, the Cyclops was enveloped in an ominous glow. Crew members reported seeing lights dancing in the sky, flickering like fireflies, but more vibrant and alive. "What are those lights?" Anna asked, her voice trembling. Captain Mason stepped to the helm, furrowing his brow as he gazed into the blemished horizon. "Focus on the task at hand," he commanded, though he too felt an unshakable sense of dread. Suddenly, the glow intensified, illuminating the entire ship. Anna felt an inexplicable pull, as if the very ocean around them was calling to her. "Captain," she shouted, "something isn't right." Without warning, the ship lurched violently, throwing everyone off balance. There was a blinding flash, engulfing the vessel in a radiant storm of light. Then, silence. Chapter 5. Into the Unknown. When the light dissipated, the Cyclops was gone, vanished from the ocean. Hours became days, and the search intensified without any success. Sailors and aviators reported strange phenomena in the area. Shipwrecks appearing and disappearing, aircraft losing instruments without explanation, and mysterious fog rolling in out of thin air. Among the many tales was the story of Flight 19, a squadron of 5 Navy bombers that disappeared on a training flight in December 1945. They flew over the triangle, and despite being in constant communication, their final transmissions revealed disorientation and uncertainty. "We're not sure where we are," one pilot reported, and all contact was lost. Commander Edward Taylor, leading the search and rescue operation, felt an overwhelming sense of urgency. "We cannot let history repeat itself. We must find these planes." As they scoured the sky, new reports appeared about strange glowing orbs over the ocean. Some said it was the spirits of lost sailors, a warning not to venture into the triangle. Chapter 6. The legend grows. Years passed, and the Bermuda Triangle rapidly gained notoriety. Books were written, documentaries filmed, and tales spun around campfires. The phenomenon became legendary, blurring the lines between reality and myth. Stories grew of ships that returned with no crew, planes that landed but had no passengers, and seafarers who swore they had crossed paths with the unknown. In a small coastal town, locals debated the truths and myths surrounding the triangle, gathering at taverns to share experiences. "It's the work of aliens," one townsperson declared, earning skeptical glances from others. "The ocean is merely fickle," an old fisherman countered, "but there's something deeper, a force at work in those waters that we don't understand." Fast forward to 2020, adventurers and explorers began organising expeditions to unlock the secrets of the triangle. Among them was Jodie Harper, a passionate marine historian determined to uncover the truth. Her fascination with the USS Cyclops had grown since childhood, and she believed that with the right equipment, they could finally solve the enigma. Chapter 7. The expedition begins. Jodie gathered a team of marine scientists, historians, and divers. They chartered a boat named Endeavour and stocked it with advanced sonar equipment and remotely operated underwater vehicles, ROVs. The crew shared a singular goal: to find the remains of the Cyclops and learn the truth behind the Bermuda Triangle. As they sailed into the heart of the triangle, Jodie felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. "This is where the Cyclops went missing," she said, reading over the logs once more. "It's crucial we find any trace of the ship." Guided by the coordinates from decades-old naval reports, they deployed the sonar, scanning the depths. Days turned into weeks, filled with tension and anticipation. Occasionally, they detected something, a shadow that wasn't just a rock or marine growth, but nothing conclusive. Chapter 8. Shadows Below. One afternoon, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the sonar pinged. A large mass appeared beneath the waves. "We've found something," shouted Mike, the lead technician. The team gathered around the monitor, their hearts racing. As they maneuvered the ROV down, Jodie's hands shook with excitement. They needed to document what lay below, no matter how eerie or terrifying. The ROV descended deeper into the murky depths, and suddenly, the screen lit up with artifacts. Old machinery, fractured pieces of metal, and what looked like sections of a hull. "Could this be it?" Jodie breathed. But just as quickly, the screen flickered and went dark. "What happened?" someone yelled. "We're losing signal." Chapter 9. The encounter. The ocean around them began to swell violently, as if the very depths were awakening. A strange phosphorescent light glowed in the distance, swirling like a dance of spirits. Jody felt the craft shudder, and panic spread among the crew. "We need to pull back," Mike shouted, but it was too late. The ROV's lights flickered back on, revealing a massive silhouette below, a ship caught in time. "There it is," Jody screamed, pointing at the monitor. The ghostly outline of the USS Cyclops emerged, ensnared in the seabed. But then, to their horror, shadowy figures began to appear on the screen. Misty and ethereal, they surrounded the wreck. Jody felt a chill as a deep voice echoed through the ocean, a warning from the other side. "Leave this place. The secrets are ours to guard." Suddenly, the ROV jerked violently. The screens filled with static, and the interior lights on the Endeavour sputtered. Jody's heart raced. This was no ordinary expedition. They were trespassing into a realm of spirits and ancient mysteries. Chapter 10. The Return. In a frantic struggle, the crew regained control of the ROV and pulled it back to the surface. With hearts pounding, they navigated back to safety, uncertain about what they had witnessed below. The experience would haunt them, but for Jody, it solidified her resolve. They were close to uncovering the truth that had eluded so many before them. Back at the dock, the crew gathered their findings, prepared to share with the world. Jody penned an account of their experiences, blending scientific discovery with the ethereal mystery that surrounded the triangle. "We must honor the past and those lost to the sea," she wrote. "The Bermuda Triangle is a testament to history, a place where reality collides with the unknown." Chapter 11. A new mission. Inspired by their journey, Jody formed a new mission to not only uncover the truth about the Bermuda Triangle, but also advocate for further ocean exploration and preservation. The ocean, rich with history and life, was a treasure trove waiting to be understood. In a world filled with tales of adventure, she also sought to honor the lives of those lost at sea, highlighting the importance of remembrance and exploration. Each journey into the triangle became an opportunity to learn about the sea, about humanity, and about the inexplicable ties that bind them together. Chapter 12. Reflections of the Past. Years later, Jody stood on the shores of the very triangle that captivated her imagination since childhood. Soft waves lapped against the shore as she reflected on her journey, a blend of history, mystery, and the realities of the human experience. As the sun set, casting brilliant colors over the horizon, she felt the heartbeat of the ocean, the guardian of secrets long past. The Bermuda Triangle would always be a place of intrigue, but it had also transformed into a symbol of hope, exploration, and understanding. With renewed passion, Jody looked out at the sea, knowing that the future held many journeys yet to come. She would continue to dive deeper, not just into the ocean's depths, but into the mysteries of life, eager to uncover what lay beneath the surface, and to honor those who had ventured before her. Chapter 1. The Disappearance. In the summer of 1937, the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship, disappeared without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle, a region in the North Atlantic Ocean infamous for the mysterious vanishings of vessels and aircraft. The ship, carrying over 300 men and a cargo of manganese ore, set sail from Barbados, but it never arrived in Baltimore. Captain Charles Mason, a seasoned mariner, piloted the ship through the waters known for their unpredictable storms and treacherous currents. On board was Lieutenant Anna James, a young naval officer keen to prove herself in a male-dominated environment. As the ship journeyed through the vast ocean, the crew felt the subtle tension in the skies above. Unease rippled through the ranks, yet they pressed on. Just a day into the journey, radio communication became intermittent. The crew exchanged worried glances. The captain remained stoic, promising that they would reach their destination without delay. A storm was brewing, and ominous clouds gathered on the horizon, casting an eerie shadow over the ocean. Chapter 2. Into the Storm. As night descended, the seas became restless. Waves crashed against the hull, rattling the crew. Anna stood on deck, gazing up at the foreboding clouds swirling like a living entity. "We need to adjust our course, Captain," she shouted above the roar of the wind. Captain Mason frowned, but refused to turn the ship away. "Steady as she goes. We're almost through it," he replied, his determination unwavering. The ship rocked violently, and a surge of anxiety gripped the crew as lightning flashed across the sky. Suddenly, a deafening boom echoed, and the Cyclops was thrown into chaos. The ship veered off course, and several crew members struggled to maintain their footing. Anna grabbed onto a railing, her heart racing. "Get below deck," the captain ordered. "We're riding this out." Despite the turmoil, Anna hesitated. Something felt wrong in the depths of her soul. It was as if the ocean itself was alive and angry. The storm raged on, the ship seeming to defy nature as it fought the furious waves. Chapter 3. A Vanished Ship. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, a search began when the USS Cyclops failed to arrive as scheduled. Reports flooded into the Navy, and rescue missions were launched across the Bermuda Triangle. Planes scoured the skies and ships combed the waters, but there was no sign of the Cyclops or its crew. Admiral Warren Thompson stood on the deck of the USS Muir, a flagship sent to lead the rescue effort. "What are we dealing with here?" he muttered, gazing at the endless ocean. "This triangle has claimed more than its share of our finest vessels." His first officer, Lieutenant Mark Reed, was poring over maps and coordinates. "Sir, over 1,000 ships and planes have vanished in this area, but we won't stop until we find them." Back on the Cyclops, the situation deteriorated. The ship struggled to remain afloat as waves crashed with a ferocity that seemed unnatural. Anna and her fellow crew members huddled together, fear in their eyes. "This can't be the end," she whispered, seeking solace in her comrades. Chapter 4. Strange Occurrences. As the storm reached its peak, the Cyclops was enveloped in an ominous glow. Crew members reported seeing lights dancing in the sky, flickering like fireflies, but more vibrant and alive. "What are those lights?" Anna asked, her voice trembling. Captain Mason stepped to the helm, furrowing his brow as he gazed into the blemished horizon. "Focus on the task at hand," he commanded, though he too felt an unshakable sense of dread. Suddenly, the glow intensified, illuminating the entire ship. Anna felt Without warning, the ship lurched violently, throwing everyone off balance. There was a blinding flash, engulfing the vessel in a radiant storm of light. Then, silence. Chapter 5. Into the Unknown. When the light dissipated, the Cyclops was gone, vanished from the ocean. Hours became days, and the search intensified without any success. Sailors and aviators reported strange phenomena in the area. Shipwrecks appearing and disappearing, aircraft losing instruments without explanation, and mysterious fog rolling in out of thin air. Among the many tales was the story of Flight 19, a squadron of 5 Navy bombers that disappeared on a training flight in December 1945. They flew over the triangle, and despite being in constant communication, their final transmissions revealed disorientation and uncertainty. "We're not sure where we are," one pilot reported, and all contact was lost. Commander Edward Taylor, leading the search and rescue operation, felt an overwhelming sense of urgency. "We cannot let history repeat itself. We must find these planes." As they scoured the sky, new reports appeared about strange glowing orbs over the ocean. Some said it was the spirits of lost sailors, a warning not to venture into the triangle. Chapter 6. The legend grows. Years passed, and the Bermuda Triangle rapidly gained notoriety. Books were written, documentaries filmed, and tales spun around campfires. The phenomenon became legendary, blurring the lines between reality and myth. Stories grew of ships that returned with no crew, planes that landed but had no passengers, and seafarers who swore they had crossed paths with the unknown. In a small coastal town, locals debated the truths and myths surrounding the triangle, gathering at taverns to share experiences. "It's the work of aliens," one townsperson declared, earning skeptical glances from others. "The ocean is merely fickle," an old fisherman countered, "but there's something deeper, a force at work in those waters that we don't understand." Fast forward to 2020, adventurers and explorers began organising expeditions to unlock the secrets of the triangle. Among them was Jodie Harper, a passionate marine historian determined to uncover the truth. Her fascination with the USS Cyclops had grown since childhood, and she believed that with the right equipment, they could finally solve the enigma. Chapter 7. The expedition begins. Jodie gathered a team of marine scientists, historians, and divers. They chartered a boat named Endeavour and stocked it with advanced sonar equipment and remotely operated underwater vehicles, ROVs. The crew shared a singular goal: to find the remains of the Cyclops and learn the truth behind the Bermuda Triangle. As they sailed into the heart of the triangle, Jodie felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. "This is where the Cyclops went missing," she said, reading over the logs once more. "It's crucial we find any trace of the ship." Guided by the coordinates from decades-old naval reports, they deployed the sonar, scanning the depths. Days turned into weeks, filled with tension and anticipation. Occasionally, they detected something, a shadow that wasn't just a rock or marine growth, but nothing conclusive. Chapter 8. Shadows Below. One afternoon, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the sonar pinged. A large mass appeared beneath the waves. "We've found something," shouted Mike, the lead technician. The team gathered around the monitor, their hearts racing. As they maneuvered the ROV down, Jodie's hands shook with excitement. They needed to document what lay below, no matter how eerie or terrifying. The ROV descended deeper into the murky depths, and suddenly, the screen lit up with artifacts. Old machinery, fractured pieces of metal, and what looked like sections of a hull. "Could this be it?" Jodie breathed. But just as quickly, the screen flickered and went dark. "What happened?" someone yelled. "We're losing signal." Chapter 9. The Encounter. The ocean around them began to swell violently. as if the very depths were awakening. A strange phosphorescent light glowed in the distance, swirling like a dance of spirits. Jody felt the craft shudder, and panic spread among the crew. "We need to pull back," Mike shouted, but it was too late. The ROV's lights flickered back on, revealing a massive silhouette below, a ship caught in time. "There it is," Jody screamed, pointing at the monitor. The ghostly outline of the USS Cyclops emerged, ensnared in the seabed. But then, to their horror, shadowy figures began to appear on the screen. Misty and ethereal, they surrounded the wreck. Jody felt a chill as a deep voice echoed through the ocean, a warning from the other side. "Leave this place. The secrets are ours to guard." Suddenly, the ROV jerked violently. The screens filled with static, and the interior lights on the Endeavour sputtered. Jody's heart raced. This was no ordinary expedition. They were trespassing into a realm of spirits and ancient mysteries. Chapter 10. The Return. In a frantic struggle, the crew regained control of the ROV and pulled it back to the surface. With hearts pounding, they navigated back to safety, uncertain about what they had witnessed below. The experience would haunt them, but for Jody, it solidified her resolve. They were close to uncovering the truth that had eluded so many before them. Back at the dock, the crew gathered their findings, prepared to share with the world. Jody penned an account of their experiences, blending scientific discovery with the ethereal mystery that surrounded the triangle. "We must honor the past and those lost to the sea," she wrote. "The Bermuda Triangle is a testament to history, a place where reality collides with the unknown." Chapter 11. A new mission. Inspired by their journey, Jody formed a new mission to not only uncover the truth about the Bermuda Triangle, but also advocate for further ocean exploration and preservation. The ocean, rich with history and life, was a treasure trove waiting to be understood. In a world filled with tales of adventure, she also sought to honor the lives of those lost at sea, highlighting the importance of remembrance and exploration. Each journey into the triangle became an opportunity to learn about the sea, about humanity, and about the inexplicable ties that bind them together. Chapter 12. Reflections of the Past. Years later, Jody stood on the shores of the very triangle that captivated her imagination since childhood. Soft waves lapped against the shore as she reflected on her journey, a blend of history, mystery, and the realities of the human experience. As the sun set, casting brilliant colors over the horizon, she felt the heartbeat of the ocean, the guardian of secrets long past. The Bermuda Triangle would always be a place of intrigue, but it had also transformed into a symbol of hope, exploration, and understanding. With renewed passion, Jody looked out at the sea, knowing that the future held many journeys yet to come. She would continue to dive deeper, not just into the ocean's depths, but into the mysteries of life, eager to uncover what lay beneath the surface, and to honor those who had ventured before her. In the bustling city of Miami, Florida, a young marine biologist named Sarah Thompson had always been fascinated by the ocean. The blue waters stirred her curiosity, but it was the mysterious Bermuda Triangle that captivated her imagination. Known for its baffling disappearances of ships and planes, the Triangle, defined by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, had sparked countless theories and legends. Every time she heard a story about it, a chill would run down her spine. One night, while browsing through old maritime archives at the university library, Sarah stumbled upon a forgotten newspaper clipping from the late 1950s. It detailed the disappearance of the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship that vanished without a trace while sailing through the Bermuda Triangle. Intrigued, Sarah felt a calling to dive deeper into the mysteries surrounding this enigmatic area. Chapter 2. The Disappearances. As Sarah began her research, she discovered numerous accounts of lost vessels and aircraft, each with a story that echoed eerily. From the famous Flight 19, a group of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared during a training flight in 1945, to the Star Tiger, an aircraft lost in 1948, the stories were chilling. Some believed that the Bermuda Triangle was the site of electromagnetic anomalies causing navigational failures, while others speculated about underwater geological formations giving rise to sudden waves. Fascinated, Sarah decided to gather a team of fellow scientists to explore the area firsthand. She reached out to Dr. Marcus Reed, an oceanographer renowned for his work on underwater topography, and Alex Chen, an expert in navigation systems. With their combined expertise, they planned an expedition into the heart of the Bermuda Triangle. Chapter 3. Setting Sail. Months later, Sarah found herself aboard the research vessel Ocean Explorer, a state-of-the-art ship equipped with sonar technology and deep-sea diving gear. Despite her excitement, a sense of unease settled over her as they sailed towards the triangle. As they sailed deeper into the waters, the air was thick with anticipation and tension among the crew. On their first day at sea, while monitoring the sonar readings, Alex noticed something unusual. "This data doesn't make sense," he reported, furrowing his brow in confusion. "There's an underwater anomaly here, unlike anything I've ever seen before." The screens displayed irregular patterns and sudden drops in the ocean floor that seemed impossible. Intrigued, yet concerned, the team decided to investigate. Chapter 4. Into the Abyss. As they approached the anomaly, the crew lowered a submersible drone to gather data. Sarah's heart raced as the screen flickered to life with images of the ocean floor revealing strange formations, an enormous underwater mountain with deep ravines and tunnels. The drone's cameras picked up something that looked almost man-made, sending chills through Sarah's spine. Suddenly, the submersible lost contact. The screens went black amidst a series of static interference and alarms. Panic swept through the crew as they attempted to regain control. "We've lost the drone," Alex shouted, frantically pressing buttons. In that moment, Sarah felt a chilling sense that they were not alone in these waters. Chapter 5. A storm approaches. The sky darkened as ominous clouds rolled in. An unexpected storm began to brew, turning the calm sea into a violent tempest. Waves crashed violently against the ship, sending the crew scrambling to secure the equipment. "Hold on," Marcus shouted as he gripped the rail. "We need to get below deck." They staggered inside, the roar of the storm consuming every sound. Rain lashed against the metal, and the thunder echoed like a warning. It felt as though the very ocean was trying to push them away. As they sought refuge, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was unfolding. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. Hours later, the storm passed as quickly as it had arrived, leaving a haunting calm. The crew emerged cautiously, surveying the damage. The instruments were down, but the ship remained intact. Desperate to regain their bearings, Sarah realized they needed to relocate. "Let's head toward the last known position of the drone," she suggested, her voice firm despite her apprehension. They set a course towards the underwater anomaly, determined to uncover its secrets. When they arrived, the waters were eerily still. The anomaly loomed beneath them, shrouded in mystery and danger. With no signs of the drone, the crew prepared to deploy another. "This time, we'll keep a close watch," Alex reassured. "We'll send it down and retrieve it before anything else goes wrong." Chapter 7. Searching for answers. As the new drone descended, Sarah stared at the monitor, her heart racing anew. The images revealed a network of tunnels that appeared almost architectural, a maze of structures beneath the waves. Excitement coursed through her veins. They were about to uncover something incredible. Suddenly, the sonar alarm blared. "There's a massive underwater vessel approaching," Marcus shouted. The crew exchanged anxious glances as the screen displayed an enormous object moving through the water toward them. "It's not on any charts," Alex observed, wide-eyed. Before they could react, the vessel emitted a blinding light, illuminating the ocean depths. The crew squinted against the brilliance, unsure if it was a reflection or something genuinely unnatural. Panic seized Sarah as she felt an inexplicable pull, as though the ocean itself had come alive. Chapter 8. The Encounter. "Prepare to return to the surface," Marcus yelled, urgency in his voice. But as they attempted to activate the drone, something shot out of the waters. An ethereal entity, radiant and otherworldly. It hovered nearby, pulsating with energy. The crew froze, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of its presence. Then, like a flash, it vanished, leaving only silence and confusion. "Did anyone else see that?" Alex stammered, eyes wide. Sarah could hardly speak as the enormity of what they had encountered sank in. They had witnessed something beyond explanation, something connected to the very fabric of the Bermuda Triangle. Chapter 9. The Return. Fearing for their safety, Sarah declared it was time to leave the area. As they made their way back, a strange calm enveloped the ship, the earlier tensions seemingly dissipating. They arrived back in Miami, forever altered by their experience. Their research was not merely about the Bermuda Triangle, it was about understanding the unknown. Days went by, and as Sarah sifted through the footage from the drones, she noticed something peculiar. The light from the entity seemed to leave an imprint, a map of the underwater structures indicating a repetitive pattern potentially linked to the past. Chapter 10. Unraveling the Mystery. Driven by newfound determination, Sarah embarked on a mission to gather experts and launch further investigations into the anomaly. The mysterious light and the discoveries from the drones had ignited a fire within her. They needed to return and explore the underwater civilization that might be responsible for not only the disappearances, but the very legends of the Bermuda Triangle itself. The journey ahead was daunting, but Sarah knew they were on the brink of something monumental. With each passing day, she pieced together information, wanting to unlock the secrets hidden beneath the waves. Was it an advanced civilization, remnants from a forgotten past, or something otherworldly? The questions danced in her mind, urging her forward. Chapter 11. The Second Expedition. Months later, equipped with more advanced technology and a greater understanding of their findings, Sarah led her team back into the heart of the Bermuda Triangle. This time, they were better prepared. As they sailed through the same waters, the crew was focused, determined to unveil the truth. Once they reached the anomaly's location, anticipation gripped Sarah. The drone descended once more, and the crew watched closely, hearts racing. The screen illuminated, revealing the structures she had seen before, but this time, there was clarity. The formations interconnected as if part of a larger design. Chapter 12. a revelation. As the drone explored further, it encountered intricate symbols carved into the structures, symbols resembling those found in ancient civilizations, linking the idea of lost cultures and histories to the mysteries of the triangle. "This changes everything," Marcus murmured, analysing the footage. It seemed they had stumbled into a gateway of knowledge concerning the maritime history and secrets of the Atlantic. But they were not alone. Another pulse of light appeared, illuminating the surroundings with a kaleidoscope of colours. The crew watched, both mesmerised and terrified, as the entity re-emerged, stronger this time. "Do you think it's trying to communicate?" Alex questioned. As they stared at the footage, they realised the light formed patterns that lined up with the symbols around them. There seemed to be a rhythm, a language of sorts, manifesting before their very eyes. Chapter 13. Confronting Fears. In that moment, Sarah felt an overwhelming connection to the entity, as if it was reaching out. She couldn't shake the feeling that their encounter was not purely coincidental. She remembered stories of civilizations lost to time, drowned in the ocean, their legacies forever entangled with the phenomenon of the Bermuda Triangle. Deciding to risk everything, Sarah drew upon her courage and focused on the entity. Adrenaline coursed through her veins as she attempted to channel thoughts towards it. The hope for understanding, for connection. "We mean you no harm," she whispered into the atmosphere. "We seek knowledge, not fear." Suddenly, the light dimmed and stabilized, creating a mesmerizing dance of patterns and movement. It felt like a conversation, a surge of energy shared between them. An intimate connection formed as the entity revealed parts of its history, fragmented memories intertwined with the waves and currents of the ocean. Chapter 14. The Epiphany. In the climax of their encounter, Sarah experienced visions of lost ships, aircraft, and even entire cultures swallowed by the sea. It hinted at the significance of the Bermuda Triangle, a protector of stories that needed to be shared. The ocean was a guardian of mystery, containing not merely danger, but a treasure trove of forgotten human history. As the vibrant light finally dimmed, the entity retreated. The crew sat in stunned silence, absorbing the enormity of what had just transpired. It was a revelation that would change their perspective on the Bermuda Triangle forever. Chapter 15. The Return Home. Returning to Miami, they knew they had to share their findings. The stories of the Triangle weren't solely about loss and disappearance. They were about preserving memories of cultures long past, hidden away in the vast ocean. With new understanding and respect for the mysteries of the deep, Sarah, Marcus, and Alex prepared to present their research to the world. As they gathered to discuss their next steps, Sarah reflected on the journey. The Bermuda Triangle was more than a site of fear. It was a place of secrets, awaiting those brave enough to seek the truth. Determined to unveil the beauty and significance hidden beneath the waves, they set out to share their message. In the end, Sarah realized that some mysteries are meant to unfold slowly, revealing their depths only to those willing to listen. The ocean held many secrets, but she had touched the surface of a greater understanding, one that bridged the gap between the known and the unknown.
Chapter 1. The Call of the Unknown. In the vibrant city of Miami, where the nightlife pulsated with energy and the ocean sparkled under the sun, a seasoned marine biologist named Dr. Sarah Lawson sat at a cafe sipping her coffee. Although she spent her days studying marine ecosystems, her nights were consumed by the mysteries that surrounded the Bermuda Triangle, a notorious region between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, infamous for the bizarre disappearances of ships and aircraft. Growing up, Sarah had always been intrigued by the Bermuda Triangle. The tales of missing vessels and strange phenomena had fueled her imagination. Now, as a respected scientist, she saw an opportunity to blend her passion for research with her lifelong fascination. After months of convincing herself, she finally decided to investigate the triangle firsthand. Driven by both science and curiosity, Sarah gathered a team of experts to embark on an expedition. Her first recruit was Captain Mike Jenkins, a rugged sailor with decades of experience traversing the treacherous waters of the Caribbean. Then she recruited Dr. Raj Patel, an oceanographer with expertise in underwater acoustics, and Emily Chen, a skilled pilot and drone operator. "Are we really doing this?" Emily asked, eyes sparkling with excitement and a hint of trepidation as they prepared their vessel, the Vanguard, for its journey. "We are," Sarah affirmed with a grin. "It's time to uncover the truth behind the legends." Chapter 2. Setting Sail. On a clear morning, the Vanguard set sail from the Miami harbor, a sleek, modern research vessel equipped with sonar technology, drones, and a range of scientific instruments. The thrill of adventure crackled in the air as they navigated through the vivid blue waters of the Atlantic. As they approached the coordinates marked for their investigation, the atmosphere shifted. The horizon softened, a fog rolling in as if warning them of the unknown ahead. "What's that?" Raj pointed towards the darkening clouds looming on the horizon. "Looks like a typical storm front," Mike replied, his voice steady. "But it always pays to be careful out here." Suddenly, the tranquil sea transformed into a tumultuous expanse. Waves crashed against the Vanguard, causing the crew to scramble on deck. Rain pelted down, and winds howled ominously. The storm was fierce, but Sarah felt a sense of exhilaration. "Stay focused!" Sarah shouted above the wind. "We can't turn back now." As they battled the storm, small flashes of light flickered in the distance, mesmerizing and disorienting them. It was as if the sea itself was alive, and something was watching from below. Chapter 3. The Eye of the Storm. Just as fear threatened to overwhelm them, the storm subsided, and an eerie calm settled over the ocean. Emerging from the chaos, they were greeted by an unexpected silence. The visibility was low, shrouded in a thick mist. "Did anyone else see those lights?" Emily asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Yeah, but let's not jump to conclusions," Raj advised. "It could have been a natural phenomenon. Or something else," Sarah murmured, glancing at the horizon where the lights had disappeared. "We need to deploy the sonar and scan the area." As they prepared the equipment, the fog began to lift, revealing the outlines of strange shapes beneath the surface, their sonar indicating structures that didn't match anything they had mapped before. "Look at those readings!" Raj exclaimed, excitement surging through him. "This could be significant!" With the ROV deployed into the depths, they watched the live feed as it descended into the unknown. The underwater landscape revealed an extraordinary sight. An ancient wreck, adorned with coral and marine life, as though it had been there for centuries. Chapter 4. A Glimpse of the Past.
"Rewind that feed," Sarah commanded. The grainy footage showed what appeared to be remnants of a ship lost long ago, its hull encrusted with barnacles and sea life. Various artifacts littered the seabed: pottery, tools, and what looked like a compass. "This is incredible," Raj said, analysing the images. "If this is a ship from an early expedition, we could learn so much about the history of this area and its trade routes." "I have a gut feeling there's more here than just a wreck," Sarah replied, her curiosity piqued. As they prepared to dive deeper into their exploration, the atmosphere shifted again. The water grew colder, and an unsettling feeling washed over them. It was as though the ocean held its breath, aware of their intrusion. "Did anyone else get an eerie vibe?" Emily asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yeah, something feels off," Mike agreed, adjusting the boat's course. "Let's keep our distance." Chapter 5. The Unseen Force. Ignoring Mike's suggestion, Sarah was eager to investigate further. The team donned their diving gear, mentally preparing for the plunge into the unknown waters. With the ROV guiding them, they descended cautiously. The underwater world was spectacular, but as they ventured closer to the wreck, they noticed something strange. The compass they had seen on the video seemed to glow faintly, pulsating with an eerie light. "What is that?" Raj asked, eyes wide as the glow intensified. "It's like it's trying to communicate something." Suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the water, sending shivers down their spines. The ocean around them churned violently, and a strong current pulled at them, threatening to separate them from each other. "Back to the surface!" Sarah yelled, but it was too late. The water around them darkened, and their visibility decreased to nearly zero. Chapter 6. Confronting the Unknown. Just as panic began to set in, the swirling currents seemed to calm. The crew found themselves surrounded by an ethereal light filtering through the water, revealing the wreck more clearly. But different now, more haunting. "Can you see it?" Emily gasped, pointing to the ship. Shadows shifted and undulated within the wreck. Figures seemed to drift in and out of view, evoking a deep sense of dread. "I think we're not alone down here," Raj whispered, his voice trembling in disbelief. "Could some of the legends be true?" "I think we need to go," Mike urged, desperately swimming towards the surface. "This isn't just a shipwreck. This is a site of something otherworldly." Chapter 7. The Endless Night. As they swam back toward the surface, the glowing compass surged brightly, illuminating the dark water around them. Suddenly, the whole area erupted in vibrant colors, swirling in a hypnotic dance. "Stay focused," Sarah shouted, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We can't let fear consume us." Just as they broke through the water's surface, gasping for air, waves crashed around the Vanguard again, as if the ocean was trying to reclaim what they had glimpsed. The ship began to list, causing chaos on deck. "Quick, man the sails," Mike ordered, trying to regain control of the vessel. As they struggled, Sarah caught a glimpse of the glowing compass hovering just beneath the surface, beckoning her to return. In that moment, she was struck by a revelation. This compass wasn't merely an object. It was a beacon linked to the energy of the Bermuda Triangle. "Everyone, we need to focus on that compass. It holds the key to understanding this place," Sarah declared, determined. Chapter 8. The Reversal of Fate. With renewed resolve, the crew rallied together, utilizing every ounce of strength they had left. They adjusted the sails and navigated through the tumultuous waves, inching closer to the glowing compass. "I know it sounds crazy," Sarah shouted against the roaring wind, "but I believe it can guide us out of this storm." As they approached the center of the glowing energy, the surrounding chaos seemed to quiet. The compass's glow intensified, forming a vortex of light that enveloped the Vanguard. Suddenly, the turbulent waters calmed, and they found themselves in the eye of the storm, a tranquil pocket surrounded by chaos. Perhaps the legends were true. The Bermuda Triangle was indeed a realm where time and reality bent. Chapter 9. A New Understanding. In the peaceful silence, a great calm washed over them. The compass, still glowing, appeared to be pointing towards an exit. It guided them towards a narrow passage, seemingly opening up in the ocean itself. "Follow it," Raj shouted, feeling the tug of the current. They navigated through the channel, unleashing a hidden path that wound through otherworldly marine gardens. With every passing moment, the crew felt an inexplicable intimacy with the ocean, understanding that the boundaries of fear and mystery had been shattered. They were explorers, uncovering not just the history of a lost ship, but a connection to the powerful forces that lay beneath the surface. Chapter 10. Returning Home. Eventually, as dawn broke, the Vanguard emerged on the other side of the veil, the storm dissipating in the horizon. They floated in serene waters, washed in a golden light. "I can't believe we made it," Emily laughed, tears of relief streaming down her face. "That was incredible." "Indeed it was," Sarah replied, a small smile crossing her lips as she gazed at the now tranquil sea. "But I think we uncovered more than we bargained for today." As they sailed back towards Miami, they discussed what they had seen, how the ocean had challenged them, but also shown them truths that transcended their understanding. They had ventured into the unknown, faced their fears, and emerged with newfound respect for the mysteries of the sea. Epilogue: The Legacy of the Triangle. Back in Miami, Sarah and her team organized an exhibit showcasing their findings. Their story echoed throughout the scientific community, proof that while the Bermuda Triangle harbored long-held secrets, it also served as a reminder of the respect we owe to the natural world. Years passed, but as she stood on the shores of Miami one final time, Sarah felt the call of the ocean in her soul. The Bermuda Triangle would always remain a fascinating enigma, drawing the brave and the curious into its depths, but it was also a place of reverence, urging humanity to tread thoughtfully along its shores. While the world may never fully understand the Bermuda Triangle, Sarah knew that understanding lay not only in uncovering these mysteries, but also in preserving the stories of those who had come before them, echoing through time like the waves against the shore. Chapter 1. The Call of the Sea. In the bustling city of Miami, where the sun-kissed beaches met the enticing allure of the ocean, a sense of adventure hung in the air. Among the many thrill-seekers, Sofia Martinez stood out. A marine biologist by profession and an explorer at heart, she had always been captivated by the mysteries of the sea. However, one mystery both excited and terrified her: the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, a seemingly innocuous patch of ocean between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, was infamous for the inexplicable disappearances of ships and planes. Despite the scientific attempts to rationalize the phenomenon, stories of ghost ships, strange lights, and seemingly supernatural occurrences pervaded popular culture. Sophia decided it was time to dive into the heart of this enigma. After weeks of planning, she gathered a team of experts: Mark, a seasoned navigator and marine engineer; Lily, a tech-savvy oceanographer specializing in underwater drones; and Jake, an adventurous pilot with experience in aerial reconnaissance. Together, they would embark on an expedition to uncover the truth behind the Bermuda Triangle. Chapter 2. Setting sail. On a sunny morning, they boarded the vessel Blue Horizon, a sturdy research boat equipped with state-of-the-art technology. As the boat gently rocked in the marina, Sophia felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were set to launch into the depths of the Triangle, a place teeming with stories that danced on the edge of myth and reality. The team navigated through calm waters, the sun shimmering on the ocean's surface. As they ventured farther into the Triangle, Sophia explained their mission. "We aim to investigate reported phenomena and collect data to understand the environmental and geological factors at play here. We aren't looking for ghosts, we're searching for answers." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Sure, but part of me can't help but wonder what's truly down there. We've had all those unexplained disappearances." A slight chill ran down Sophia's spine. "That's why we're here, to find out." Chapter 3. Into the Abyss. As daylight faded, the crew set up their equipment. Lily monitored sonar readings while Jake prepared drones for aerial and underwater exploration. Just as they settled in for the night, the atmosphere shifted. The wind picked up, bringing ominous clouds rolling across the horizon. "Looks like a storm is brewing," Jake said, glancing at the sky. "We should secure everything." The waves grew choppy, and soon a fierce storm surrounded Blue Horizon. Rain lashed against the deck, and lightning illuminated the sky. The boat creaked under the strain, and fear gripped the crew as they realized they were in the heart of the triangle during a tempest. "Hold tight," Mark shouted over the roar of the wind. "We need to navigate through this." Sophia braced herself against the railing, adrenaline pumping through her veins as they fought the raging storm. Hours passed, and just as they thought they might succumb to the storm's fury, the wind suddenly died down, leaving an eerie silence. Chapter 4. The Calm. After the storm, as the storm passed, the crew emerged from their quarters. An eerie fog had settled over the water, casting an otherworldly glow. Visibility was low, but they noticed a flickering light in the distance, something unnatural. "Did you see that?" Lily exclaimed, pointing towards the ominous glow. "It's probably just a buoy," Jake suggested, though doubt colored his tone. "Let's investigate," Sophia said, heart racing with excitement and fear. They powered up the underwater drone and sent it into the depths, hoping to uncover the source of the mysterious light. Chapter 5. Beneath the surface. As the drone descended, it transmitted a live feed to the crew. They watched as it navigated through schools of fish and vibrant corals, descending deeper into darkness. Then, it encountered the source of the light, a massive, partially submerged structure that seemed to be man-made. "Is that a ship?" Mark asked, squinting at the screen. "It looks ancient." The drone's camera captured glimpses of ornate carvings and fish swimming in and out of the wreckage. The crew erupted into hushed whispers as they realized they had stumbled upon an underwater graveyard, a lost vessel from generations past. "This could be a monumental discovery," Lily proclaimed, her excitement palpable as she recorded data. "If it's a shipwreck from World War II or earlier, we could learn a lot about the history of this area." But the moment was interrupted as the drone's signal faltered. Static filled the monitor until the transmission was cut entirely. "What just happened?" Sophia asked, confusion etching her features. As they attempted to re-establish the connection, the boat rocked violently, throwing the team off balance. Chapter 6. The Unseen Force. Sophia realized something felt off. "Do you feel that?" she asked, a growing sense of unease creeping up her spine. Before anyone could respond, a deep rumble echoed through the water, causing vibrations beneath their feet. Suddenly, eerily calm waters erupted around them, swirling and churning as if the ocean itself was alive. "Everyone, brace for impact," Mark yelled, scrambling to secure the equipment. The waves surged, tilting the boat to an alarming angle. The crew gripped the rails, eyes wide with fear and wonder as they found themselves caught in an otherworldly display of power. Chapter 7. The Eye of the Storm. Just as quickly as it began, the chaos subsided. The water calmed and a deafening silence returned, leaving the crew breathless. As they gathered their wits, Lily's voice broke the tension. "We lost the drone, didn't we?" "Not just the drone," Jake added, flipping switches on the control panel. "We also lost navigational instruments." Panic flooded in Sophia's chest. "We need to regain our bearings. Otherwise, we could end up lost like those ships and planes." Taking deep breaths, they worked together to restore some semblance of normalcy. But the air grew thick with tension. An inexplicable force surrounded them, and a chill ran through the crew as shadows danced in the water below. Chapter 8. The Echoes of the Past. Determined to push forward, they decided to lower their remaining sonar equipment and resume surveying the area. The readings began to pick up strange anomalies, a series of underwater caverns that appeared as a maze stretching across the seabed. "This could be it," Sophia said, her heart racing. "Perhaps these caverns can explain some of the disappearances, funnels in the ocean where ships could get trapped." Mark nodded, still contemplating the earlier chaos. "But why the lights? Why now? It's as if something is trying to communicate with us." Compelled by her instinct for discovery, Sophia urged them to investigate further. They used the last remaining drone to explore the caverns. As it ventured inside, they witnessed beautiful formations, crystals glimmering in the dim light. Yet the atmosphere grew heavier. "It feels otherworldly," Lily murmured, glancing nervously at the approaching shadows. Suddenly, the monitor flickered back to static, and a voice crackled through the speakers, soft, haunting, and echoing as if it bypassed time itself. "Leave this place." Chapter 9. The guardian of the deep fear coursed through the crew as they exchanged bewildered glances. "We need to pull back," Jake urged, his voice trembling. "No," Sophia insisted, a strange pull urging her on. "We can't stop now. We're so close to uncovering the truth." As the voice echoed again, the water around them bubbled, and the drone's feed captured strange shapes darting in and out of the darkened passageways. Figures that almost resembled human forms that seemed to morph and blend with the water. "This isn't just any underwater structure," Mark whispered, realization dawning. This could be a relic of a lost civilization. Guardians of the sea, perhaps, watching over their domain. Just then, the drone captured a fleeting image, an ancient artifact shining brightly amidst the shadows. A compass, intricately designed, adorned with strange symbols. The moment became etched in Sophia's memory. That compass might hold the key to understanding the triangle. Chapter 10. The decision. "Bring the drone back," Sophia commanded. "I need to analyze that compass." But as the drone ascended, the entity responsible for their unnerving experience surged forward, a whirlpool forming just beneath the surface, and the eerie voice rang clear in the air. "Leave this place." The sea roared with fury as the amusement of nature transitioned into chaos. The crew, gripped by fear and awe, understood that they were intruders in a realm they could not comprehend. "We have to make a decision," Jake said, trembling but resolute. "We either take our findings and leave, or we risk it all for the knowledge that lies within." Sophia, her heart racing, felt a deep connection to the ocean's secrets. "We can't just abandon it," she argued. "What if it can help us understand the disappearances? What if it's a warning?" Chapter 11. A final grasp. As tensions rose, the storm clouds rolled against the horizon once more, casting a veil of darkness over the ship. The crew powered through the chaos, leaning into the wave of energy surging towards them. "We'll lower the ROV one last time," Mark decided, his tone stern yet fervent. "We owe it to those who disappeared to find out what happened." With careful precision, they launched the ROV into the depths once more, determined to capture what the sea had to reveal. As it descended, the surroundings grew darker and shadows flitted through the water. "We're receiving a signal," Lily shouted, eyes wide as the monitor flickered with static images of the underwater maze. But in a split second, the ROV became tangled in seaweed, sending alarms blaring through the ship. "Reel it back in," Sophia yelled, panic seizing her heart. As they attempted to regain control of the ROV, the whirlpool beneath them roared in fury, and with one final surge, it pulled the blue horizon into a swirling crimson fog. Chapter 12. The Revelation. As quickly as it began, everything stopped. The crew found themselves adrift in calm waters, the storm forgotten. Glancing around, they realized that their surroundings had changed entirely. The ocean shimmered under the moonlight, illuminating a calm surface devoid of fear. The ominous shapes and voices had melted away, replaced by otherworldly silence. Staring at the sea, a sense of understanding washed over Sophia. It's as if the ocean wanted to protect its secrets, but we were called to uncover them nonetheless. Feeling a newfound sense of purpose, Sophia turned back to the team. Perhaps the triangle isn't just a place of loss, but a reminder of the wonders beneath the surface. It teaches us that some mysteries may not be meant to be solved, but respected. Epilogue. A legacy of discovery. Back on land, the expedition sparked renewed interest in the Bermuda Triangle. Sophia shared their findings with researchers and scholars, advocating for a respectful approach to exploration. The ancient compass they had salvaged became a beacon of understanding, guiding many to delve deeper into the mysteries of the ocean rather than to exploit them. Years later, Sophia stood on the shores of Miami, watching the waves dance in the moonlight. The Bermuda Triangle lingered in her mind, a testament to the balance between curiosity and respect for the profound unknown. Sophia knew the ocean held many secrets, some meant to remain hidden, while others beckoned brave souls to explore. The allure of the sea would never fade, and neither would the spirit of adventure that thrummed within her heart. With each wave, she felt an inexplicable connection to the past, eager to continue uncovering the rich tapestry of stories the ocean held.